There we go.
Hey.
After these messages, I'll be right back. Got
Ew.
barbecue sauce.
I love barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce.
If you're just Infinity watching now, it's nope. It's wait. Did I roll a wild?
Oh, yeah. Did I roll a wild,
Oh,
please?
oh yeah. Please. At youtube.tv/Twitch Casual Pro. Guys, we are here for another episode of Wait, Did I Roll a Wild? Your Marvel Crisis Protocol Pavlog. I am here in this chair. We have Dan over there in that chair.
Hi.
And we got a bunch of really cool things to talk about and some very, very, very exciting things as well. First off, if you haven't already, please make sure to go over to professionalcasual.com. That's where you can find all of the podcasts and actual plays and videos and YouTubes and socials and all that stuff. It's all there. It's all there. Just go there.
So much there.
Second, we are running out of spaces for the What If event, which we are going to be running at Bearded Dragon Games in upstate New York in Wananta, New York, 13820. So go over to Longshanks. The link is right down here below to sign up for that. We only have, I think, 5 spots left. So if you haven't been aware, that is a super cool event style where you will draft a roster of characters from our models.
Yeah.
And your affiliation leader, whoever you end up getting, their affiliation ability applies to every single model you have.
So cool.
It is going to be awesome.
I will
Thanos-led
say-
Web Warriors, Spider-Man-led Black Order.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all there.
Whatever you want to do. Check out, was it 2 weeks ago we had an episode where we talked about crazy combinations we could try
Yes.
that weren't like the obvious ones, like whoever using Siege of Darkness or Wakanda Forever.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, too, if we run out of spots, if it fills up, send us a message, ask nicely, and somebody could have my spot, because I did sign up for it on Longshanks. But I'd rather have somebody from the community have that and experience this.
Oh, absolutely.
And you can use my models. Because we'll probably have a mix of mine and Tim's. I don't know exactly how it's going to work. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'll just
Dump my display case into a lunchbox and bring it all.
I will be bringing every mustachioed character I have, and then we'll fill in the empty spots, the empty lips.
That means I got to finish painting my Dormammu and Hood, and I actually have to start painting Hood.
Hood
and
has a
Sorcerer
mustache.
Supreme.
Hood,
Doctor
Toad,
Strange.
Mystique, MODOK, Hulk,
Rolk.
Groot.
Oh, Mysterio's got a sweet mustache on
Oh
his
yeah,
fishbowl.
Mysterio has. But anyway, so the other thing before I go off on a mustache tangent, the other things we're going to be talking about tonight is we've got the official reveal for Black Swan and Supergiant.
Not Moondragon, as we all assumed, every single one of us.
Listen, Supergiant's awesome. Black Swan is one of my favorite characters, so I am super stoked for both of those. We also got kind of a little spoiler teaser about a new Ultimate Encounter, the Hell to Pay.
A new, I love Ultimate Encounters. We got this revealed. We don't have too many details yet. She does have grunts.
She's
That's
got
cool.
grunts. It's an Ultimate Encounter with grunts.
Well, I guess in this case it's minions, not grunts, because
Oh.
it's an Ultimate Encounter. Ugh, I just realized that. It makes me a little sad.
Nuts.
Grunts on grunts on grunts. Minions.
So, but that's fine though. You can bring the grunts to fight the minions. You know
Ooh,
what I mean?
I really like that idea.
So,
I assume they'll be played with tokens, but we'll get into that later.
yeah.
Now, Danny's really excited to join us another time and talk about Hell to Pay because she loves Hela.
Ella, A.
I just realized how well it works that it's called Hell to Pay,
Yeah.
and then Pay works with the song too.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I wonder if they did that on purpose.
You gotta get Hela to
Thanks,
pay.
Dallas.
Pay. That said, we're also going to talk about some games played, maybe some hobby thoughts. I'll talk about Your and My Game from Monday on
Yeah.
TV/Professional Casual Network.
Had a
where
nice
we
close
played
one.
some, for real. And shift
Use
aside.
grunts mostly correct as far as I know.
It
We didn't
was-
get yelled at too much by chat.
It is the most correct
that.
we have ever played grunts.
And we like them. I like grunts a lot.
They are super fun. But that said, just to start out the show, Dan, did you you hobby at all this week?
Hobbity hobbity.
Hibbity hobbity?
Did I hobby this
Did
week?
your glue get all floppity?
Oh yeah, well I finished. I got Shadowlands, Daredevil, Electra, and the Hand Ninjas
Yes.
ready for the game on Monday. Thank goodness for contrast because I didn't have a lot of time because I wasn't anticipating using them for a little while.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, I need these ready. So I'll probably do more work on them to add more highlights and things. But like contrast and some washes and a little bit of highlights, and things look perfectly fine, especially for stream. You know, you want those bold colors to stand out on the table. So, yeah, that's what I've done. I've been painting a little bit of God Tier as well.
Oh, awesome. How are you liking God Tier so far?
I really like it a lot. I played yesterday at my game club after school with some students. I taught a couple kids how to play. Like, they each took control of a champion, and then I controlled 2 champions, and it was great. We just finished a game in the time we had, and they beat me because I'm not good at these games, but I like them anyway.
Won a game of God Tier yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you played Lily.
No. Not quite. No, Jess from Settling the Southlands and I played a few weeks ago at Bearded Dragon, and we did 2 games, and I think I won the first one that was like a teaching game, and then we played again with 2 champions each, and I think she got me with that one. But I mean, if anybody's watched my games on the Power Phase, I'm not the best at miniatures games, but I love them.
Yeah.
I have my moments once in a while.
Well, you always have a great attitude, regardless of whether you're winning or losing. So it's one of those things where sometimes you forget whether Dan has a good track record or a bad track record because you're just always fun to play with.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I tried. I have won awards at events for best sportsmanship and things, so.
That tracks.
I get a little upset when the dice just will not work for me, but, I think everybody's like that.
Yeah. It is difficult to not do graphs in your head when you're like, how does this keep working like this?
I just rolled 9 dice and got 2 successes. This is not supposed to happen.
Yep. Yep. The good news is always when you really need it.
Yes.
And when you spend a bunch of resources to make sure it happens.
It always happens with She-Hulk, too. Every time, not every time I attack with She-Hulk by any means, but whenever it's like I need her to do a bunch of damage here on a spender, she whiffs.
Well, it's like when we saw during Adepticon, during the team up? Nope, during the Contest of Champions, we saw Ravensguard and Paul. And She-Hulk get special deliveried in, attack magic, whiff.
Yeah.
And then follow up with 2 attacks on her turn, and also could not take magic down.
Right. Oh, yeah, magic tanks so much there, like, for no reason. Like, should not have, and it's how it goes.
But as far as hobby stuff for this week, while I did not paint anything, I did give Big Chuck guidance on what I wanted him to paint my things. So I saw one of the posts on one of the Facebook groups from Marvel Crisis Protocol where someone had done the hand ninja as Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Reptile.
Yeah, that was kind of awesome.
So I just straight up yoinked that idea, just absolutely stole it, except I replaced Sub-Zero with Ermac, because I was always a huge Ermac person. Also because I was hoping for that reaction if I took out the ice guy. But Reptile was always like my MVP. I like Scorpion slightly better than Sub-Zero. They're pretty much even keel for me.
Okay.
But I love Ermac because he has telekinesis. Love Reptile.
Was Ermac the gray one?
Ermac, no, that was Smoke.
Oh, duh.
Ermac was like a magenta-ish. Not to be confused with Rain, which was more of a bright red.
Which is weird. Why is Rain red? Why wouldn't he be blue?
Alliteration?
More different blue than Sub-Zero.
Because they already have 2 blue ones. Because they have Sub-Zero with the blue. They also have Sub-Zero's brother with the blue and not a mask. And they have Frost, which is a lighter blue.
I thought that was just an alternate costume for Sub-Zero. I don't know Mortal Kombat well. I wasn't allowed to play it as a kid.
Yeah, fair.
There's too much blood.
I read all the books.
There were books?
No, but...
Surprisingly, Sub-Zero is not my favorite Mortal Kombat character.
Because it's Goro.
I love ice dudes, or ice people with ice powers. I like Sub-Zero a lot. Didn't like him in the newest movie for obvious reasons.
I didn't watch the newest movie yet.
Don't bother. It's really not good.
That's a shame.
It's pretty bad. Noob Saibot was always my favorite. Mostly because he's kind of like the Deadpool of Mortal Kombat. Like, he's real goofy, and he's like somebody that makes the games. It's his name, mixed up or backwards. But I just thought he was kind of cool that he was just a Scorpion clone that was all black, but he could like teleport and stuff.
And if you pressed up and select at the right time when that face came out and said "whoopsies," then you could go fight him.
What?
In Mortal Kombat 2, that's how he was introduced. Occasionally,
he was in Mortal Kombat 2?
Yeah.
It wasn't until 3.
No, so like he wasn't playable in 2, but you could fight against him.
Okay.
And like what would happen is one of the director's heads would pop out of the bottom occasionally during like uppercuts or when like a big move was done and yell "whoopsies!" And if you pressed up and select during the like 6 frames that face was in the bottom corner, then you would go fight Noob Saibot.
Okay. Probably the guy that Noob Saibot is named after.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I know a little bit about Mortal Kombat. I was Street Fighter people when I was younger.
Or maybe it was Smoke. Maybe I'm thinking of Smoke. Either way, it's definitely one of the other ninjas that is grayscale to extreme grayscale. But
yeah,
I know everyone came here for Marvel Crisis or for for Mortal Kombat knowledge, but
I think people by now know if it's a Tim and Dan episode, there's going to be tangents,
yes,
and there's going to be lots of speculation, and there's going to be comic talk.
100%.
So I'll say quick for like future hobby things, I'm going to get my wrecked convenience store terrain finished. I have everything but the actual building to do for the event. And then I have a couple more pieces of terrain I need to at least slap some paint on for the What If event. And then I need to get Dormammu done. I've had him since like August, and he's like base coated everything but the flames. I just haven't finished him.
Dormammu is so fun too, and because I have such an aversion to playing the really high threat characters, because I'm like, right, but I could play like 8 bullseyes for that cost. He is really fun. The incantation of obliteration, really kind of giving you some efficacy on having 8 threat poured into 2 actions on him a turn is very nice.
I remember I was really pumped to actually play him when it came out, and it was kind of like a race of who's going to use Dormammu first.
And then we played it.
And then we just did the ultimate encounter things that his organized play kit that you specifically cannot take Dormammu in. We did twice, and then we did the ultimate encounter that I wasn't there for. Yeah. And then it was like, all right, we're sick of Dormammu now. Then I just never finished painting him.
I'm not. I would absolutely play those again, and that's absolutely something we can do. That ultimate encounter was fun.
I really want to try. I didn't get to play in that one, so I really want to play that because it seems really cool. It's really involved, but that's what makes the ultimate encounters great. So yeah, that's the plan, is to get that building done and then Dormammu. But I'm sure 8 other things will take my attention instead.
Correct.
Because my plans like that never work out.
Speaking of hobby stuff, if you didn't check it out, last Tuesday, Throwlash Gaming was on the Professional Casual Twitch doing he assembled Ultron.
Yeah, he finished assembling his core box minis.
It was the last piece to complete. It was the final golden monkey statue chunk that he had to twist into place to be able to complete the core box for himself.
The shrine of the silver monkey.
He Blue Barracudaed it very nicely, I thought. But this upcoming Wednesday, make sure to check him out at twitch.tv/professionalcasualnetwork, where he's going to be streaming some more hobby stuff. Super happy that he's around doing that.
Yeah. I need to find time to fit in my schedule to do some of that as well. Yeah. Like if I'm painting, might as well chat with people online.
Absolutely. Well, and you never know when an air horn's going to go off in your ear.
I mean, fair. Please, just don't do it while we're painting eyes or something.
I feel like it adds just a level of adventure to it, you know?
Absolutely.
So.
And terror.
But this week, Dan. Last week we speculated on it. This week we know who they are. It's Supergiant and Black Swan.
50% right.
50% of the time, it's right 50% of the time.
So I did some reading.
Ooh.
I did some research.
Some research?
Yeah. I feel like I don't usually have to because my comic experience goes back before I could read, and like it's pretty wide cast for things that I've read. Black Order is one I don't know much about. My first introduction to them was Infinity War from the MCU. So I did read just today the Black Order miniseries from like 2018. Which I was just trying to, I want to get some idea of what Supergiant and Black Swan can do for wild speculation. And then Supergiant wasn't even in the book. I guess she was dead at the time.
Nuts.
And I was like, man. So I learned a little bit about Black Swan. She has a lot of stuff going on.
She does.
She's definitely going to be a 3 threat.
I agree. I don't want that to be the case, but I completely agree. I would put.
I hope not. I hope she's a 4 or 5 for her power set from what I've seen.
Yeah.
For the Black Order affiliation in the game, they need more lower threats. They're already a really expensive affiliation.
But do they, though? Do they need lower cost characters, or is that kind of their vibe? Are they the heavy hitter, where they already have 2 3s? I don't feel they needed to, or should have
1 3. or Proxima.
Oh, Corvus is 4, huh?
And people almost always take him with the reality gem, so he's really like a 5. But like you take one fewer gem on Thanos, and then you can, instead of Proxima, you can take a 4 threat Black Swan potentially, or whatever they'll end up at.
But I redid some. I went back and looked at some Supergiant stuff because I remember her from a number of things, but there is this just absolutely insanely cool scene where during the prelude to Secret Wars, the Illuminati effectively like gives Wakanda to the Black Order to be like, yeah, just we'll give you Wakanda, but you got to go kill literally every other planet before it crashes into ours. And the Black Order's like, yeah,
done.
That sounds great. So at one point, I think Supergiant is mind controlling like most of the Inhumans in Wakanda, in this big castle, convincing heroes to try to come save Black Bolt and some of the Inhumans to come save Black Bolt. Once they get there, she uses Black Bolt's power to set off a whole bunch of bombs, and then mind controls Lockjaw to teleport her out of there to safety. She just next level.
So good.
Might be the strongest like mind control person I think that I'm aware of. Certainly more than Jean Grey, Cassandra Nova, because it's multiple people simultaneously and not with any sort of vicinity.
What? So I've seen she's described as psychic parasite.
Yeah.
She like worms her way into your brain. So she doesn't have to be like right there to do it?
Well, and she's intangible for the most part. She's like ghost form all of the time.
Right, you said she's got a big phasing thing like Vision and Shadowcat.
She just straight up can't be hurt by like physical attacks.
Right. So on Monday we're playing the power phase. You were saying you think she's going to be 1/1 and like 5 for defenses?
Yeah, I would not be shocked if it was like that.
Mysterio effect there?
Or you can't attack her at all unless you pay. I could see something like that as well.
Oh, that's kind of brutal. Because I'd rather, like, I'm fine with...
Just fine.
Like, all right, sometimes it's like, well, I don't have the power to reduce your defense, but maybe I'll get lucky and have a good roll and you have a bad roll. Like,
yeah.
But to have to pay power to target her at all is pretty unique. I don't think anybody else has anything like that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It'd just be the extreme version of what Mysterio or Enchantress have, kind of.
I like that to make her a bit more unique, and so she stands out from other psychic characters. Because we've seen quite a few. Like, I hope she doesn't just have Psychic Bolt with Sap. That's a range 4, strength 5.
My guess is very legitimately she will probably be 5 threat. She will have her builder will all mystic attacks.
Okay.
But her builder will be something along those lines. Probably range 4, strength 5, doesn't sap but moves. You can move them at
like Mysterio's.
Yes.
What is it? Hypnosis gas.
Yep.
So, do you think she's just gonna straight up replace Ebony Maw then? Because even with his rework, he's still not a favorite in Black Order by any means.
So I think his goal is really chucking stuff and chucking people. I think she will be adding stun and stagger and physically moving other characters. Or, and this is what I'd love to see, is effectively mental domination as a spender.
I was thinking something like mental domination, where she can force an enemy character to attack.
To move short and get an attack.
Awesome.
A specific profile or something. I think that would be...
And a way to make a psychic character feel unique, because like we have Ebony Maw, we have MODOK, we have Jean Grey, we've got Cassandra Nova.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch, kind of Mystic. We have since the Convocation release, we have a ton of Mystic-based characters.
Yeah.
So to make them feel unique is, I'm sure, getting more and more difficult for AMG.
Well, yeah, very legitimately, and I think having a character out too that could very potentially be almost completely immune to physical attacks make all of the Mystic characters that have recently kind of come out even more valuable. Here's the one thing I'd really like to see. I think this will be very hard to implement correctly, where it's not overbearing.
Okay.
But I would love to see forced bodyguard of enemy characters.
Forced bodyguard.
Yes. So you attack Supergiant. She has some reactive, probably costs 4 or 5.
Okay. It's pricey.
You can force an enemy character within range 2 to bodyguard for you.
So like reverse bodyguard. Instead of the bodyguard paying the power to take the hit, she's putting the hit on them.
She's putting a hit on another enemy champion.
onto an enemy.
Yeah.
So she just makes
Iron Man and Captain America are coming at Supergiant. She can spend to have Captain America
throw his shield at Iron Man instead.
Yeah, or get in the way and probably take a damage. You know what I mean? Probably not take the full brunt of the attack.
Right.
But
that
character takes the target of the attack. The attacking character doesn't get their action back, and the new target takes 1 damage or something like that.
I like that a lot. Again, making something unique, a different mystic character, because we have a lot. And they do a good job of making physical characters seem different, which is most of the game. Mm-hmm. So that's cool.
I could also see a specialized token for her of people that she has parasited.
Ooh.
So probably some type of effect where maybe her builder adds it to someone, almost like a genetic token or a vendetta or something like that. Yeah, adds a possession token, and then one of her other abilities can be used, or then she can use a spender, or then she can use a superpower to move them around. But she has to get it on them first, which I think would really kind of keep it in check.
I want to see her. She's hard to stand. She
completely agree.
Tends to go down hard when people manage to figure out how to hurt her. So I could see her having low defenses, low health for her threat, whatever it might be. Like if she's a 5 threat, she's like 5/5.
Yeah.
But it's hard to do any damage to her. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like these ideas a lot, not knowing anything really about the characters. So I appreciate that you did your research just, before you knew you needed to.
I love bad guys a lot. So a group of bad guys that gets used for altruistic purposes in one of the coolest events, in my personal opinion, is awesome. I really like that. I like that morally gray, they're going and killing entire worlds, but
it's to save this one.
Professor X asked him to, and now we have Old Man Logan and Miles Morales in the main universe, so it's kind of worth it.
Yes, we definitely should listen to Professor X all the time.
Yeah.
He's nothing but a good guy.
He's the opposite of that. So, which is so unique, especially in the Marvel Universe, where I love bad guys that are doing something that they feel is right and could be argued to be correct in certain relative situations. And then you have Professor X, who everyone has assumed is this good guy all the time, and then you have these stories where they're like, oh, wow, Professor X is a dirtbag.
Yeah. Oh, he just sends kids to die regularly? That's not cool.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite, Deadly Genesis, which was the first team he sent to Krakoa to save the original X-Men, and they all died. And he was like, I need to try again and get different people. And then it was the all-new, all-different X-Men.
Yep.
I loved that story, that reveal. I think that was Ed Brubaker. Good stuff. And, we got Darwin out of that. We got Vulcan, the Third Summers brother. That was teased for 15 years before that came out. And then 2 others that died and haven't come back yet.
Who were they?
Petra she was a geomancer.
Okay.
And then one who had time powers. I forget who that is.
All right. I'm trying to think. There was some awful thing that he had done where he was regularly wiping people's memories.
It was revealed later on that he was doing that all the time.
Yeah.
He would tell the X-Men, don't worry, I'm not going to read your thoughts or change how you think about things unless it's dire. And then it was he was doing that constantly.
Oh, yeah, just literally stubbing his toe. I got to wipe everyone's mind again.
The 90s cartoon Xavier is not the Xavier from the comics.
Yes.
He is you think he's a good guy, but he's actually doing bad stuff all the time, amoral stuff all the time. He has his own sense of morality that he will follow. Mm-hmm. I think he's a good example of lawful evil that you don't know. Yep. He's really good at hiding it because he's a super high level telepath. Mm-hmm. So I can't wait to see him in game. I think he'd be a good 3 threat. Because he would have legitimately he'd have terrible defenses.
Yeah.
But he'd have really cool mind powers, but he's not an offensive piece.
Correct.
He'd be really good. I mean, obviously another leader for X-Men. Mm-hmm. And then he would have a cool leadership to, I don't know what exactly, but he would have a lot of cool powers that would move characters around, enemy and friendly, I think. But legitimately, I don't think he should be a super high threat.
Right. Well, and I hope he's on a big base too. Like he'd be size 3 or 4, especially because of the 90s like hover chair.
Well,
thing.
yeah, we'll get the 90s hover chair for sure.
Because I want to be able to use Juggernaut to hit someone with Charles.
Yes, and just throws the chair.
If every week on stream I could be like, all right, and then I hit you with Charles.
Yes, please.
But or being able to play against Omnis Protocols, so I could be able to hit Charles with Charles.
Oh, even better.
Or be hit by Charles with Charles. There's so many Charles that could chuck a chuck.
Oh, boy. How about characters that we actually know are coming to the game anytime soon?
Oh, like Black Swan?
Like Black Swan, who is a Black Swan. You were telling me about this before. I read a bit more about it, that she is like kind of like how Black Widow is a Black Widow.
Yes.
Black Swan is a Black Swan, but she's like the last one.
It's almost kind of like a wombo combo of like the Black Widows and the Valkyries, to be very legitimate. They are this intergalactic race of just ballers. And I think they took out the Elders with Doom.
Yikes.
Like the Elders of the Universe, the people that were like...
They were part of, like I saw in the event, what is it? Time up, something like that. The thing before the Secret Wars,
yeah,
they were heavily involved in. There was like a scene where the living tribunal is just like laying on a planet taken out by something. He's one of the elders of the universe, and it's like, wow, these people don't mess around.
Yeah.
So she's got a lot of cool stuff going on. Just from that little bit I've read, to get some feel of what she can do. She's got eye lasers, so we're gonna have a better eyes off, and takes out 3 like giant like troop carrier spaceship things by herself. And there was a great scene where Black Dwarf goes and wrecks a bunch of dudes on a ship, taking out the crew, and he's like talking with Black Swan. He's like, I like that you don't just think of me as the muscle. And she's like, oh, you're the muscle? I thought I was the muscle, and then just walks away, and I was like, all right, I like her a lot.
Yeah. I loved her interactions with the Illuminati and the Black Order and stuff during the Secret Wars, because she was just constantly making deals with everyone, being like, yeah, these guys are dicks. We should, like, definitely kill them, right?
I was just reading her talking when like she had a secret deal with Namor, and then that went sour, so she's, like, trying to broker something new. I like how she's not just a punch him in the face character. Same with Black Dwarf. I was really surprised at how much, like, Black Dwarf is, like, eloquent and intelligent and not just a yellow Hulk. And I was like, oh, that's nice to know. I'm glad. Most part,
pretty anchorless too. Like, he doesn't have a whole lot of anchors that he throws around.
He didn't even have an axe. He just punched things.
Yeah,
a lot of backhanded punches.
Oh yeah.
But Black Swan has, like, a lot going on. So I really hope to capture the feel of the character, I really hope she's a 4 or 5, just because laser rush. I imagine, optic blast kind of thing like Cyclops has, maybe with a push. I'd love to see a shield ability like Cable's, with that big bubble, so she can shield herself or other characters, adding dice to defense or rerolls or something like that. Obviously, flight.
I think a 4 is honestly perfect for her.
Yeah.
A strike builder with probably bleed or something like that.
She does have she can have claws, I've seen.
Yeah, maybe even pierce and bleed. That might be too much, but optic blast probably is a secondary builder that just gains 1 power.
As a wild push, just basically just copy paste Cyclopses.
Yep. And maybe not even push. It was more. It wasn't concussive force, right?
I'm not sure if it's like optic blast or like a laser that'll do incinerate on a wild. I'm not. I could see it going either way. Again, I haven't seen enough of her in the comics to really guess. And
then probably having some sort of mind power. Maybe not a mystic attack or maybe some super awesome spender, but I think her mental stuff will probably be both defensive or reactionary.
She has mental stuff too?
Yeah, she's a high-level telepath as well.
What?
Yep.
What can't she do? Jeez. I didn't catch any of that. That's awesome.
Be part of a planet that survived.
Oh, that's too bad.
But
I definitely should have a throw.
Yeah.
As a superpower, not like in addition to an attack. Or she could be like a better Thor at a 5 threat and have a throw on her builder.
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, legitimately, you could go instead of the static builder energy like eye laser attack. It could be more like it could shock. It could cost 1 and be range 5.
Because can't she shoot lightning out of her hands like Palpatine too? Like I've seen a bunch of. I didn't see that in the comic, but I've seen it in images of her shooting red or blue lightning. So Wow, I mean that's already like 4 superpower or 4 attacks she could have.
Correct. Yep.
Like,
and like I said, that's why I think you got to move. You got to offset some of it not to attacks, because otherwise it's physical attack, laser eyes attack, mental attack. But I think you do something along the lines of have maybe a super reactionary power, cost 2, can add defensive dice over here, or can prevent her from being smashed into, or something along those lines. You could go a lot of different ways with it, but I think that's the sweet spot for her to prevent her from being a 5 or a 6.
Right. Now, does she have something where she, like, there was, I don't know if it was like a psychological thing or if it was like a biological thing where she was, in her like narration of the issue, she was talking about how like she needs to kill. She needs, like, is she like a vampire in that?
Biological directive of the Black Swans. They are like all pre-programmed Valkyrie Black Widows.
But it's more of a psychological thing. Like she just feels the need. Because there's one point where somebody goes to talk to her after this fight is over, and she just grabs them and snaps their neck.
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, I'm fine."
Yep.
But like I wasn't sure if that was like she needed to do that because they were fighting like robots, and she had to kill something living to like get energy from it, or if it was just like she has this unbridled need to kill.
Yeah, I think it's that is my understanding of it, at least, is that they are all trained and raised in a society where that is just
what you do.
Yep.
It'd be cool if she had like a kind of a negative superpower,
or if she doesn't attack, like her movement goes short or something like that,
or like if she has to make an attack kind of thing, like some kind of drawback there. Maybe when she flips, she gets a bloodlust kind of thing would be kind of cool.
Yeah. I actually super dig that.
Sort of like my closest analogy would be like Green Goblin, but he doesn't have anything that forces him to do it. But like not being able to hold objectives, like Wolverine also like becomes much more offensive when they flip because they lose a little bit of control.
Or maybe like the Kree Power Core. If the character didn't make an attack on their turn, they take a damage at the end of the activation.
Yeah, I
like that.
I'm okay with that. Again, from the little I know of her, people watching this might be like, "That's not how she is at all."
The super cool thing too is that now that they're introducing her, go with me on this one.
Oh, God.
We know.
Ready.
We know that Natalie Portman is going to be playing Jane Foster.
Spoilers.
She was in the trailer, so not a spoiler.
People don't like trailers.
In the Thor Love and Thunder.
Yeah. Looks so good already.
But she has already been built as a different character. As the star of the movie Black Swan, we know that Natalie Portman,
great movie,
was training to be the Black Swan in the Marvel Universe. So we will see.
I mean, she was the Black Swan.
Right.
Have you seen it?
No.
It's actually just really
I've
good.
heard it's really
It's
good.
a great like psychological thriller.
Wait, really?
Kinda.
Okay.
Like it like
super in a psychological thriller.
Changes gears in the third act, and it's like, wow, this movie got crazy.
Oh.
It's really good.
Like Sorry for Bothering You?
I don't know.
You watch that? You need to check that one out. Everyone right now needs to go check out Sorry for Bothering You. It is incredible. It is an awesome, awesome, awesome movie that has a late shift that you would not believe me if I told you what it was.
Okay.
You'd think I was making it up to be funny.
Sorry for Bothering You?
Sorry for Bothering You.
Is it like a Coen Brothers movie that I'm going to pretend to not hate?
It has the aspects of Coen Brothers movies that I really like, but it is not.
Do you know who it's by?
Yes.
Once Google reminds you?
Yeah, once Google just reminds me.
Because I'm not like a big movie snob or anything, but once in a while a name will be like, oh, like if you said it's by Taika Waititi, I will watch it tonight.
No, it's
like
by,
I don't think this one is, but I love Taika Waititi in general.
By Boots Riley.
That doesn't ring a bell.
Probably not, but really solid movie. It's also got Tessa Thompson in it, so.
I like Tessa Thompson. What's it called again? I already forgot.
Sorry for Bothering You, or Sorry to Bother You. It's about like a call center worker, and it's a surrealist comedy.
Okay.
Which I'm super into. But that said,
Sorry
Thane.
to bother you.
Thane. We need a Thane now.
So
we got Supergiant. We got Black
Thane?
Swan. Thane is Thanos' son.
What?
Yeah.
Who's that? Is he purple?
I think he's like a grayish.
Why isn't he called Kid Thanos then? If he's Thanos' son.
That's someone different. That's a
like Kid Apocalypse and Kid Gladiator.
Yeah, they formed actually a really cool like R&B group. But Thane.
Thane, huh?
Thane. Let me show you a picture of Thane.
I'd love to see a picture of Thane. I saw you when you made the post for today that I shared into the groups. I saw you mention Thane, and I was going to ask you about it, and I forgot because I haven't heard of this character.
So he's a baller. A lot of people don't like him. A little derivative, but
a lot of like Sons of characters are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very much. He's very much Dakin to Thanos,
who has come into his own over the last few years.
Yeah, I completely
agree. He was
agree.
a really boring character to me for a while, but they've done a lot to make him more interesting.
But he got the Phoenix Force for a while, which was pretty rad, and he kind of like tried to. I mean, listen, until we get Avengers versus X-Men Phoenix 5 with Phoenix Namor and Phoenix Cyclops and Phoenix Magic and Phoenix Colossus and Phoenix Emma Frost.
Can we just get regular Emma Frost and Namor? That would be a dope box. I want Emma Frost and Namor.
That would actually, yeah.
I want Namor in the game, but Emma would be awesome as well, and they go together perfectly in a box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Would be an odd box, though. You'd expect Emma Frost maybe to be bundled with another X-person.
I mean,
like
Namor Namor's had affiliations with the X-Men over the years because he is a mutant Atlantean.
He is a mutant.
Just not a mutant human.
Right. He's the type of mutant that like lived outside of the power plant in Springfield. So he's a fish that got mutated.
Sort of.
Because all the other Atlanteans are just fish, right?
No.
Oh, I'm thinking of something
They're
else.
blue people.
I'm thinking about Finding Nemo, I think.
Yeah, I get those mixed up all the time. Marvel Atlantis, Finding Nemo.
Yeah, yep.
Namor lives in a sea anemone.
Anemone.
Because when they had Utopia off the coast of San Francisco, Namor was one of the X-Men.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, I'm a mutant too, sorta.
We can hang out now. You guys aren't in upstate New York.
Right? They've actually been trying to get him to join Krakoa forever, and he's like, no, I'm the king of Atlantis. Leave me alone. I don't want to be part of your nation. I have my own nation.
I don't want to be on the school board, John.
I'd love to see him in this. I think he'd be, he seems to me like a solid 4-threat, physical beater that's tough, flight, maybe with a trident. Doesn't have to.
Yeah. Super strength, throws.
Yeah.
Also, an ability where he's just really, really, really ridiculously good looking.
Oh, absolutely. He's got some kind of distracting. You roll one fewer attack dice when you're looking at him because he's so good looking.
So here's a super important thing. I wish Ben Stiller was a foot taller and 20 years younger.
To play Namor in the MCU?
Yeah.
He still could. They just make him look taller.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, actually, super shocking. The guy that played Colossus in the Deadpool movies, actually Danny DeVito.
I mean, they could do it well enough with, like, Rhys Davies is over 6 feet tall, and he was a dwarf in Lord of the Rings. Like, if they can make people look shorter... I was just started watching a particular movie with a character based on a bat. I'm not going to mention here.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the actor playing him is not that tall.
Oh, you're talking about Batman from The Tick?
Deflate a mouse?
Yeah.
So they could absolutely make Ben Stiller look a little bit taller.
Yeah, I completely agree.
He would be a perfect Namor, though. So,
here's the important question. Assuming that what we've talked about today is accurate for...
Yeah, we were going to assume that.
For Supergiant and Black Swan, what off-affiliations do you play them in? And if one of them is a new Black Order leader, which one is it, and what is their affiliation ability?
Well, seeing the little bit I've read of the story leading up to Secret Wars, Black Swan seemed to be more in charge than Corvus. If Corvus isn't an alternate leader, because he's like the field leader when Thanos isn't around, Black Swan makes sense to me because she was like calling the shots.
I completely agree.
You know, she got more like screen time during that event because she was the one wheeling and dealing. She was the one leading the Black Order there when Thanos wasn't around. So I would love to see her as an alternate Black Order leader.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, to be able to use Black Order with multiple characters would be super cool.
I completely agree.
Especially if Supergiant's like a 3 and you could fit in a couple, you could actually field like 4 or 5.
I think it'd be very difficult to get the flavor of Supergiant as a 3. But maybe that's what it is. Maybe it is They restrict the abilities by having some sort of build up to it or ramp, so she is in fact a 3.
And they've always said that the model and the card represent the character at a certain point in their history. So,
Yeah.
like, the Storm we got, we joke a lot about how she's an Omega level mutant, she's 3 threat.
Mm-hmm.
That represents Storm earlier in her career,
Correct.
where she wasn't the Storm we have now, who is a fully realized Omega level mutant who routinely just wrecks anybody that goes against her one-on-one. Like, I mean, she's the Queen Regent of Araco for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, people don't mess with Storm unless they want to get wrecked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's terrifying right now in the comics. She's so badass.
I mean, I feel she's always been that, but then again, she hasn't always had the mohawk.
True.
But
I want a mohawk Storm.
I want Morlock leader Storm.
Yes.
With the mohawk and the lightsaber.
And like a mostly dead Calypso on the base.
Yeah. Poor Calypso.
And she just has a knife, and that's her builder is just knife.
It's a strike. It could be throwing a grenade or a punch or dropping some bows on them. It could be anything, even a boat. You know how much we've always wanted to strike one of those.
Timothy Black in the chat suggests they might get like something like Convocation with a card to allow one of them to be the leader, which would be also awesome. I hope they do more of that to add more flexibility with affiliations in ones that make sense. Like, if we get an Illuminati affiliation, any of them could be the leader. Mm-hmm. Give them a card thing too, so your Black Bolt could be the leader of that as well.
Yeah.
Or Namor coming out in the future, or our 3-threat Professor X.
So what type of affiliation ability do you think they would have if it had something similar to the Bar Without Doors for Black Order?
So if they had a card?
Yeah. I don't know why it rings in my head that I just assumed that they would have some sort of buff to mystic defenses.
Really? I was thinking something offensive.
Oh, that's fair. But they already have, I guess it's not really an offensive.
Well, I mean, it's Thanos' healthy side encourages you to be offensive.
Yeah.
To get victory points.
But
I don't remember what the backside does because he doesn't get there very often.
Oh, right. I don't either. That's actually a good question. But one thing that they normally do is if they have multiple affiliation leaders, that they kind of balance out the type of game you're trying to play.
Right.
So if you are running a kill team on Black Order with Thanos, I'd assume, and especially, let's say, Black Swan is in fact the other leader, I think that you would get a more emissary approach on things. So I think that you would have a less aggressive, something either more battlefield control,
yes,
or defensive. I
think something to represent that wheeling and dealing she's done, like she's already talked to the leader of the other affiliation and struck some kind of deal.
Yes.
I off the top of my head, I can't think of how that would be represented in game, but I feel like we could come up with something. So what's Thanos' injured leadership?
So Death's agenda on his injured side, during the modified dice step of an attack, an allied character can suffer up to 3 damage. For each damage suffered, it may reroll one of its attack dice. If an attacking character becomes dazed or KO'd during the attack immediately ends.
Okay, so they can deal damage to themselves to make their attacks better. Mm-hmm. So he's all about offense.
Correct.
Healthy and injured.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'd like to see Black Swan more manipulative. Something like... maybe even something like Sin's leadership ability, but usable. No, every time I look at her card, I'm like, I don't want to read all that. I'm lazy.
I really like it. I like that it happens every round and it's constant and ever present, and it makes Sin kind of a target.
Yeah.
Which...
otherwise, she's not really... no, her leadership ability is definitely not bad. I think something like that would fit Black Swan, where it manipulates the battlefield in terms of the scenarios to represent those plans she's already made. I don't think it has to directly affect the enemy characters or the friendly characters.
Yeah, I could see a tactics card too that kind of does like a little bit of what a Brother Voodoo Brother Daniel token does, where you can put it on someone and then they can't hold objectives, or they can't hold civilians, or they can't hold assets, or something along those lines.
Do you think it would be too powerful to have that as a leadership ability? Like once per round you could do it, but like limit it. You can put this like whatever wheeling and dealing token, whatever they might want to call it. Like you could put it on an enemy character within 3 of order ally.
Maybe so. This
That'd probably be way too good.
could be offensive here too. Maybe it's something along the lines of if you daze or KO a character holding an objective, or somehow remove an objective token from an enemy character, you heal or gain additional power, or something along those lines.
I like that. So like if you're keeping your opponent from doing their objective, you get like bolstered from that.
Correct.
But so it's kind of like instead of like it'd be like a Asgard from Thor, but instead of spending power, there's a different trigger.
Correct.
I like that. And again, that kind of represents what, different things she's doing behind the curtain.
Well, and obviously, we just got the Shadow War affiliation leader with Shadowlands Daredevil, and he can re-roll. His affiliation ability allows characters to re-roll a dice on attacks, including skulls, while attacking someone holding or contesting an objective. So you don't want to make it too close to that, but it'd be something in that vein.
Mm-hmm. And if I remember, at first we thought that was a little limited. For the leadership, and then we found out pretty quickly that it's most attacks anyway.
Or it could be the reverse. Maybe you can re-roll a skull or any other die on defense rolls if you are holding or contesting an objective.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that's very similar to Miles's, just with more. That's almost the same as Miles.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I guess that is kind of exactly what Miles does, huh?
Is that a bad thing though? If a different affiliation has essentially the same leadership as another one,
I don't think
that are very different,
especially in secondary leaders, or like, you know what I mean, where it's not the big entry level one that everyone got when the affiliation first comes out or something along those lines. Yeah, I think mixing that up a little bit is fine. I really like what Timothy Black said though, as far as having kind of a bar with no doors type deal. Or maybe just straight up you gain an additional power while attacking a character holding or contesting an objective, regardless of the outcome. You don't have to do damage like Cabals.
So if you target a character with an attack that's holding or contesting an objective, you just gain a power?
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's not necessarily more offensive, because then it could fuel superpowers that you do after. That seems totally within line of leadership abilities. Either because typically they either grant a reroll in some capacity or conserve power in some capacity.
Well, and I guess you could make it pretty offensive as well if you did something similar of if you attack a character holding or contesting an objective, after the attack is resolved, you may either heal one or remove a special condition to kind of give that like battle lust, like you're getting into the thick of it. You have incredible fight endurance that's going to keep you in the fight longer, as long as you're going for the goal.
Right, so I like that. So it's Asgard, but with a trigger to attack instead of spend a power.
Exactly, yep.
I like that a lot. Do you think with Blackwater finally getting a little, a bolstering here, do you think this is a sign that we're going to see bolstering of other small affiliations like Asgard? Or Wakanda?
Asgard, Wakanda, or Inhumans, yeah, for sure.
I mean, Inhumans, there's the thing with Inhumans is there's so much to draw from. Like, yeah, they got Miss Marvel, they got Beast and Ronan on there, but like I want to see more actually like Inhumans of
Sync
Adeline.
would be awesome. Sync?
For X-Men?
No, for X-Men and Inhumans. She was on the crossover team, the Uncanny Avengers.
Oh, we're thinking of different Syncs.
Probably. Also, the character I'm thinking of might not even be called Sync.
The Sync is on the X-Men currently. His name's Everett something, and he's kind of like Mimic, where he syncs with other mutants to use their power.
That is definitely not who I'm thinking of.
Who are we talking about?
Synapse.
Synapse. What does she do?
So Synapse's power is she can detect lies. She can manipulate brain. She like interrupts the brain patterns of people.
Another telepath.
Healing, and she turns off people's powers.
Oh, she got a lot going on.
Yeah.
I still really want to see a Karnak and Gorgon box.
Karnak and Gorgon.
And then the merman guy.
Man thing?
Trident, his name might just be.
Sounds made up.
He looks like a fish dude.
Oh.
He's kind of cool looking, but I really want Gorgon and Karnak. I think they would add some real punch to Inhumans. And of course, Asgard still sitting at what, 5, 6 characters?
Yeah.
Could also really use some lower threat. You know, the Warriors 3, Lady Sif can, you know...
I mean,
they need to happen.
It's a heck of a box, honestly. Do you think you fit them all into one?
No. I think that, well, especially with the new, like, the Grunt releases, we've seen boxes fit more than just 2 characters. I don't see why not having the Warriors 3 and Lady Sif all in one box.
Yeah. I mean, do you think they put the Warriors 3 on one base and they can separate?
No.
Or just on one base they can't separate?
No, I think just separate characters.
I guess.
I want to see.
I just want to stack characters on one base.
Yeah, I know.
And then be able to throw them off and deploy them, kind of like the Lost Vikings. I want the Lost Vikings
Yes.
as a character in Marvel Crisis
Well, the
Protocol.
thing is, I could see the Warriors 3 on a single base, but I don't want them to be a grunt by any means. They are better than that. Like, they are still powerful as Guardians. I think Volstagg by himself.
Yeah.
I could see. I don't know enough about. I feel like Fandral could be like a 2-threat.
Mm-hmm.
Hogan being a 3-threat, Volstagg being like a Colossus kind of analogous.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? Analogous to Colossus as a 4th-threat, just super tanky.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lady Sif, I feel like would be similar to Valkyrie, but I'm sure they'd find ways to make her. She's got a sword and shield instead of 2 swords, so she's different.
Yeah. Very legitimately, I would see Sif and Heimdall maybe being a box, and then the Warriors 3 being their own box.
That makes more sense. I forgot about Heimdall. He's awesome.
Or maybe some Jane Foster Thor and Heimdall would be cool too.
Yeah.
Or maybe Odin.
Odin or Stormbreaker Thor.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Unworthy Thor as another Thor would be... have that and Jane Foster because they're, you know, as the Mighty Thor there. It makes sense because they were like together in that story.
Gore the God Butcher and Unworthy Thor.
You think Gore is within like the realm of the game?
I think so.
He's too, like, would he be? I don't know enough about that one. Would he be like a 7-8 threat? Like
No,
Dormammu?
no.
No, he's not that strong.
No, I mean, kind of.
He is a god butcher.
He has the Necro Sword, which is Null's sword. So he like he stumbles upon Null like fighting some other god, like after being beaten the crap out of each other, and he just like yoinks
Gross.
Null's weapon.
Okay.
And then goes off on a tear.
Okay. But there's so much they could do with Asgard, and it's just like we haven't had a new Asgard release in like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on! I want to see Korg and Meek. They could be on the same base.
Yes. Yep.
Or like a Rocket and Groot kind of thing, where Korg just takes hits for Meek.
Yeah.
You know, there's some even Balder, so he can die and make things happen.
He could have a gate. You know what I mean? It's like his gate.
Nice.
Thank you.
It took me a second to realize what you were saying there. But I feel there's so much they can do with Asgard that we need more. And with seeing Black Order getting some love, I'd love to see those long, like, seems like almost forgotten affiliations getting that support as well.
And that's what I really like. I think Black Order is one where I guess I wasn't expecting anything to come out anytime soon.
I thought the Black Order was done.
Yeah.
We're never going to see any more.
So I love that AMG keeps this really fresh. I know that very specifically there's some huge Black Order fans at AMG that are super excited to have Black Swan and Supergiant out.
Right.
So I'm constantly surprised in a very positive way by them.
For real. Like you'd think they would cover the basic bases for the first 2 years and then maybe branch out. But I love how they throw in these wild cards with like MODOK, Cassandra Nova, Black Order really at all other than Thanos. And then this one is just like, there's no predicting it. And I like that for the most part.
Well, and from I like the way they do their silhouetted images too. I
love that new
what Supergiant was. People were like convinced it was Moondragon. It also very realistically could have been Gore the God Butcher, who's at least in the MCU is going to be bald with a bunch of like cloak stuff around him. So it's like, hey, it could be anything. It really could even be a boat. Mitch, it is great to see you, dude. Thank you for joining.
With a cloak.
Ooh, Sif as Guardian of the Bifrost.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Oh, and Valkyrie on a Pegasus.
Yes!
Alternate Valkyrie.
Oh, Valkasis.
On a medium or large base, you know, flying around on a Pegasus. Or...
Sleipnir.
Also, that's Odin's horse.
It's Loki's child.
Danny Moonstar as Valkyrie on a Pegasus, shooting arrows. I just want New Mutants also.
Yeah.
I know Iceman first, and then we can have New Mutants.
Listen, we have New Mutants.
We have magic.
We have
True,
magic. What
true.
else do you need?
Cannonball.
Sunspot.
Cannonball and Danny Moonstar. I don't really care about the rest that much.
Yeah.
Like Sunspot's okay.
Wolfsbane would probably be a cool.
Well, I like
honey
Wolfsbane.
badger.
She could have some cool transforming. Sunspot will be a 3-threat Colossus and outshine him, unfortunately.
Yep. But I get it. But only if he's charged up.
Yeah, because he doesn't really get brighter.
So, speaking of Asgard, new ultimate encounter called Hell to Pay with Hela. It looks like there's going to be the ultimate encounter version of Grunts. What we know is called Minions. The card that we see, there is a couple passives on there. The Curse Dead. So I think this will be a really cool kind of horde mission where she is just spawning a whole bunch of things. And
Rabbit will get a bunch of Curse Dead tokens.
Yeah.
'Cause we don't have a model for that.
Zombie waves. Like there has not been. I think that will be a very ultimate.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Right. Like
Yeah,
horde
not
mode.
only Hela, but all the undead that she brings with her. You gotta wade your way through those. So make sure you bring Deadpool.
And then if she kills your character, she brings those back under her control too.
Yes, please. I mean, we'll go in all kinds of detail once we get a hold of this thing.
Yeah.
Which I think with the post it said it was this summer.
Yeah.
Because they said that about Black Swan and Supergiant as well. But a lot of people consider the summer with Memorial Day. So we could see them pretty soon because that's in about a month.
Sun's out, guns out, and probably Supergiant and Black Swan. That's what they say.
Supergiant Black Swan out, guns out?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah. Memorial Day weekend rolls around. Memorial Day weekend is when you open up your pool. You open up your Hell to Pay Ultimate Encounter box.
Yeah.
You also open up an order at beardeddragongames.online using code PCME10 at checkout to get 10% off your Black Swan and Supergiant pre-order.
And who knows? We'll probably do a giveaway with Hell to Pay as well.
Oh, always. Yeah.
Because we love to share that with the community. Because I know a lot of people lament that like they don't have a local game store they can get to easily to play it because they're not for sale or anything. So, we'll have a few to give away, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Anthony hooks us up.
Yeah, he does.
Because he's the best.
He really is.
And he's going to play this coming Monday.
He is going to play this.
He's going to make his first appearance on that side of the computer.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he's walked by before, but
so
I'm excited.
I'm nervous.
That he's going to wreck you because he's so good at these games.
Yes. And it'll come out of nowhere, and then I'll realize too late what he's doing.
He's gonna spend 2 turns of you going, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And then the third turn, you're gonna be like, "What are you doing? You just annihilated him, or you scored 9 points, or you KO'd half my team."
Yep.
He has this sneaky way of playing where he has the best poker face because you
yeah.
never know what's happening behind his eyes. He
is
thinks
the
of things that I'm like,
ever-present
where is your brain getting this idea from? And with games, it's always good.
Yes.
Like I love playing games with Anthony because it really challenges me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't like playing games with Anthony because he really challenges, and I'm just like, how did you even think of that?
Yeah. Yep.
Just the other day when we were playing, he was like, okay, Dan has like 4 moves here that he could do that would be really good. And then I did something. He's like, that's not one of the 4 I was thinking of. And I was like, of course it wasn't. It didn't work.
So I'm super excited to be playing him this Monday. If you missed it this past Monday when we announced that he was going to be there this upcoming week, make sure to head over to facebook.com/professionalcasual. Shoot us a message at 603-803-3235. Send us next day air a postcard to P.O. Box G, West Oneonta, New York 13861, and tell us what Anthony should run on Monday. He's open to anything. He's open to your suggestions specifically so he can destroy me with it.
Or send us an email with your suggestions at theprofessionalcasual@gmail.com.
That too.
All kinds of ways you can contact us. Because he's like, I don't know, I'll play whatever. And we have everything. So whatever, if you want him to field Inhumans, because we haven't seen those in months.
Yeah, actually.
It's been a long time.
Oh, him. So
Like individual Inhumans make a splash here and there, but I don't think anybody's actually played the Inhumans affiliation in a long time.
it's been a hot minute, and I think that's what I'm terrified of. Just the head game of working around Black Bolt in general.
Yeah.
And then having Anthony at the helm of Black Bolt too just adds this other layer where he's like, all right, Anthony, put Black Bolt in the center of a bunch of danger.
Why?
Which means he wants me to think that I think that he wants me to attack it and flip it to its injured side. So I'm not going to do that.
Anthony's...
Or is that what he's been planning on this whole time?
Right, he's like the guy from The Princess Bride.
Yes.
With the iocane poison, but he doesn't say anything.
Correct.
He doesn't let you in on it at all. He's not going to talk through it. I mean, we'll have him talk through it because of the stream, but like he's not going to say these things to make you mind. You're going to do it to yourself.
Correct.
Because of the presence Anthony has. The guy behind the chair is going to be at the table.
His strategy is always inconceivable.
Yes.
So,
would you like a peanut? Would anybody like a peanut? I'm really excited to watch that. Hopefully I get back from work not too late to be able to watch it.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm not going to be playing. So, yeah, have fun getting wrecked. It's just not fair. He's the owner of a game store. He plays games all day.
Yeah.
Not really. He does a lot of other stuff. But
guys, real quick, once again, the link right below is for, everything that you would want to find at Professional and Casual Network. But the Longshanks link for the What If event that we're going to be running at Bearded Dragon Games, make sure to get in there, get signed up, come hang out with us. We're going to stream it too. Make sure you follow on the Twitch so you can watch it live.
Yeah, just come over to the store that day, hang out, watch games.
Just full send. Upstate New York.
For people that may have joined later, I will say, if you go to Longshanks and it's full, message us. Let us know. You can have my spot. Because I've signed up, but I'd rather people from the community come and do this.
Yeah.
So just let us know.
In addition, we're going to be at ACO this year.
Yeah.
If you were considering going to that, you will catch us there live streaming all their Marvel Crisis Protocol games. So check that out. Check us out. Listen, just check it out. What it's all about. Also, during ACO, Mini Stravaganza
is the same time.
We're going to be covering that as well.
We're going to be exhausted because it's just going to be MCP all day, all the time.
It's
MCP everywhere all at once.
Sometimes I go home, right? And I'm like,
you do?
I really want, no. Sometimes I go behind the soundproofing barrier that's here in the basement. And I'm like, man, I really want French toast. But I also want a sandwich. So I'll...
Monte Cristo.
Kind of. So think of it, and nowhere's near as complicated, right? Okay. So I make a slice of French toast.
Yum.
And then I make a second slice of French toast, right?
Even better.
Then... third slice of French toast.
What?
And I put that third slice of French toast, the freshest one, in between the other two slices of French toast.
French toast sandwich.
And then I eat 3 pieces of French toast at the same time.
That's not complicated at all.
That's what I said. It's a very uncomplicated version of a Monte Cristo.
Was there a reason for that recipe?
I like French toast.
I thought you were going somewhere with it.
I was. Sorry. Yeah, that was an analogy.
I was trying to set you up for your own thing.
We're going to a convention, right? That's like a piece of French toast.
Atlantic City Open.
We're going to be covering Marvel Crisis Protocol.
Yeah.
It's like another, guess what? Mini Stravaganza? That's the super hot, fresh piece of French toast that's in the middle of the other 2 French toasts.
Is it stuffed French toast? Or does the French toast have...
It's uncomplicated. I don't know how to stuff a French toast.
Does the French toast have, like, chocolate chips in it?
How do you put... I don't know how to put chocolate chips in the bread.
Actually have some upstairs that's bread, like brioche bread with chocolate chips in it.
Wow, how the people on the other side of the noise barrier live.
Danny made French toast with it last week, and it was real good.
That sounds really good. Yes.
On our
Mini
snow day.
Stravaganza, very legitimately, will be the French toast with chocolate chips already in the bread.
Ooh, in the middle of the other French toast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see what we got going on there. We'll have live reactions to stuff. Because last time Tim and I tried to live react to a thing, we lost our minds when they announced X-Men.
Yeah.
The original wave of it. We were screaming like,
And
kids.
no one could hear us. or no one could hear the stream. Because we didn't know how streaming worked at the time.
Is that on YouTube? Did we put that video up on there?
We streamed it on Facebook.
Did we really? Can you still find that video somewhere and watch us go, ah!
Good question.
I kind of want to watch it myself just to see our stupid reactions.
Oh, we probably look so different, too.
That was like...
It was like
almost 2 years ago.
That was over 2 years ago, right? Because that was before.
I didn't have this little white patch in my beard yet.
That's true. That's why you look so much different. They'll be like, who's that guy with a monochromed colored beard?
Oh, yeah, I'm so excited to meet Mitch in person at ACO.
Absolutely. And Nick will be there too, I think. We'll have Mitch. Listen, everyone should be there. Come hang out with us at ACO this year. That said, thank you so much for being here. Come check us out on Monday for Oh Yeah, the Power Phase, where Anthony will absolutely destroy me. Come back on Wednesday to watch Tactical Taylor, Throwlash Gaming himself. Do some hobby stuff. Hang out with us, chat, and just maybe hobby yourself. Honestly,
so fun.
A great stream to have on in the background where you're getting your own sprue backlist done.
For real.
Mm-hmm.
And paint those things that you never thought you were going to paint. You're going to sit there and watch Twitch.
Yeah.
Paint too.
Let's do it together.
Or build things or whatever you're working on.
But that said, guys, thank you so much. ProfessionalCasual.com. Make sure to check out all of the actual plays, all of the gaming goodness, all of the super cool fun stuff we do here at the Professional Casual Network. Follow us on YouTube right here. Give us a like-see. It'd mean a lot to us. And if you're listening to the podcast version, make sure to head over to Spotify, Audible, Amazon, or Apple Podcasts to leave a 5-star review. For Wait, Did I Roll a Wild, as it really it helps us get the word out there that, as I said in the post for this episode, we are in the top 2,000 of Marvel Crisis Protocol.
That's crazy.
Podcasts.
There's a new one like every week, so
that
it's impressive.
Are recorded exclusively in the Cole's basement.
We do record a lot of podcasts down here.
We do.
To be fair.
We do. So, guys, thank you so much. We will see you next week. I love you.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Hope you
Bye.
find your day.
Wait, what?
I don't. You got that stuck in my head.
Haha, I finally did it to you.